C'est toujours la même chose. D'accord. Oups. Council, if you're ready to proceed, please. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Mr. Osa, kindly bring in the witness.
Council, Mike.
I, EBOU Sanyang.
Nte EBOU Sanyang.
I, EBOU Sanyang.
I, EBOU Sanyang.
Nte EBOU Sanyang.
Nte EBOU Sanyang.
Do swear that
Mbenkalilako.
Benkalilako.
I'll speak the truth.
Mbetonyale fola.
Mbetonyale fola.
The whole truth.
Tonya damma.
Tonya damma.
And nothing but the truth.
Ndunte femfola memmanke tonyati.
Andunte femfola manke tonyati.
So help me God.
Woto alama ala endema.
Woto ala ama endema.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sanyang.
Tinyang, Mr. Sanyang.
Welcome to
Afternoon, sir.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Itinyang, TRRC.
Barka.
Thank you.
Mr. Sanyang, you have opted to speak in the Mandinka language, correct?
Mr. Sanyang, na inform lako ya tomone ko diam ni maning kamala tonya.
Ha nga tala pur ka diama de kongola.
Yes, I decided to speak in Mandinka.
So please allow for 3 seconds, brief period between your speech and that of the interpreter.
Woto medani la ko isi second dantambula la diamo anin kanna sorla la diamo pour ikana sele nyokan.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Sanyang, we would not normally ask witnesses to take off their glasses, but these ones are so dark, it's difficult to see your eyes. So may I ask if you do not mind taking them off?
Mr. Sanyang ko jande mboka fo sedo le pour yela nya classe lo bari itela nyim dobe nyamen. Nara abe sone ale bulde isa bondi kata fimbada le.
Kasiti je pur nga bondi.
There is no problem. I can take it out.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanyang.
Inumbara baga.
And sorry for the inconvenience.
Hako bondi nya fananda ninga tra ko le akoko kula kusabu no.
Tana tije.
There is no problem.
We want to talk to you today about few events that have taken place here.
Belafla niye ku dantan ne kacha ko la menu keta ye yang.
Principally your arrest and detention at Yundum Barracks.
Follow mba men wala minti ko ila mutaro ina muta yesamba Yundum Barracks.
And your subsequent detention at the NIA.
Narne bondi wora narne samba NIA.
But that aside, we would want to know who you are, your background, biographical information, the work you've done in the army, and the reasons why you fled the jurisdiction, your subsequent return to Gambia, your arrest, torture, and further detention at the NIA and also the military camp previously.
Inarane muda yesamba NIA tajire ya inarane samba me sojaro la kambo fanando.
Are you ready to talk about this?
Me parere na bampuru niye nyin kachaba.
Me parere mbake pur na akacha.
I'm ready to talk about it.
Thank you very much.
Numbara baga.
What are your full names, Mr. Sanyang?
Mr. Sanyang ito ni kontangudum.
Tomu EBOU Sanyang.
My name is EBOU Sanyang.
Officially, is it EBOU or is it Ibrahim?
EBOU la muitodi bang for Ibrahim.
Tomu EBOU leti.
My name is EBOU.
What is your date of birth?
Ila wulu sang mulunju malti.
Multa 1982.
I was born in 1982.
Where?
Minto in Jara Soma.
Jara Soma.
And that would be in LRR.
Bekela LRR banko la kang.
Aha, masango tundotu.
Yeah, that's in the LRR.
Which schools did you attend?
Yela karango da folo karamunju malto.
1991, Jara Soma Lower Basic School, Karang Sajel.
1991, I went to Soma Lower Basic School. That's where I started my schooling.
Moraje na headmaster Masadam Falaj na moraje kala 1997 ma from 96-97 na comment transfer 96-97 na move kata Kuina Upper Basic School.
Our headmaster was Mr. Sanyang, but 1996-97 I sat to the common entrance and went to Kuinala School.
The headmaster was Mr. Damfa.
The headmaster was Mr. Damfa.
He's late now.
He's late now.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Now Kuina Upper Basic School 1997.
I went to Kuinala Upper Basic School around 1997.
At 2000, I think Mr. Damfa another transfer from Unite because never can transfer no kata Sukuta.
I wanted to get a transfer.
96 years, so now my transfer la kanata Sukuta kana Grace 96 water.
It was Mr. Damfa who helped me to get a transfer to come to Sukuta School, where I sat to my grade 9. Huh?
Yes.
Grade 9. Then 2000 then another move kata co-comprehensive or 2000.
Then around 2000 I moved to the core comprehensive.
2003.
I was there till 2003.
Then another in 2004, senior school then another move 2004, another enlist to the army.
Then in 2004 I completed, and when I heard about the selection for the army, I decided to go and enlist.
On the 7th May 2004.
19?
On the
7th May 2004 into the army.
7th May 2004, I enlisted into the army.
And when did you complete your training?
What did you malam yela karango nyimbang?
My training started on 7th May 2004 around September.
I started my training on the 7th May 2004, and I spent 4 months there.
And
Kabinga training bang another move to another post to 1 infantry battalion, Yundum Barracks.
After completing my training, I was posted to 1 infantry battalion at Yundum Barracks.
And what were you doing in Yundum Barracks?
Yundum Barracks.
Yundum Barracks, I was as an infantry soldier, Alpha Company.
I was an infantry soldier at the Yundum Barracks at the Alpha Company.
Did you have the opportunity to travel out of the Gambia for work?
Oye harjo soto le bang ila dogo ni kono pour kata finti Gambia banko kan pour kata dogo la bang.
Because 2004 as an infantry soldier, kata posting Katong order outposting.
In 2004, as an infantry soldier, I go for postings at Katong and other places.
And in 2008?
2008 sangodum.
Before 2008, 2007, I used to border post around Kafuta Tumbung, around the border, Sibanor Mafon border area.
In 2007, I used to go and do guard duty at around Kafuta Tumbung, around the border area.
And block around the border area also.
Around the border area also at block.
That time, Kobe Tensil back because rebel moved all the way from Guinea-Bissau area, and they were around the Gambia border area in Casamas MFDC.
In those days, the Casamas MFDC rebel group came very close to our border because things were very tense in Guinea-Bissau, and this is why they had to move towards the Gambia border.
So 2007, for December 2007, whereby another select trained in the ECOWAS standby force in Senegal.
I was there till 2007 when I was selected to go and attend a training in Senegal by the ECOWAS standby force.
The training was called DECO exercise in Senegal, in chess.
The training took place in chess, and it was called the DECO exercise.
Then another continued around the border area.
When I came back, I still went back around the border area again.
Then for 2008, on August 5th.
Till 2008, August 5th.
Another Sudan on peacekeeping.
Then I went to Sudan for peacekeeping.
So when did you return?
Wari jumale muruntana.
Another Murnang 2009.
I came back in 2009.
Where were you deployed when you returned?
Bri muruntana kabono Sudan yesamba du kola min.
Sudan, then after another promote to Lance Corporal rank.
When I came back from Sudan, I was promoted to Lance Corporal.
And where were you posted?
Ye samba du kola min tole.
The same Yundum Barracks going to back to the border area and the Katong subsequent fanang.
I went back to the same Yundum Barracks, but still I go and perform duties at the same border areas and also to Katong.
Were you a member of the patrol team?
Oy dabe nyim patrol team ol konol ba.
At the border area, ngata patrol la. Even in Katong, ngata patrol la.
Yes, around the border areas, we have to go on patrol even in Katong.
Ngata patrol le for Kanilai fong.
Sometimes carry out patrols up to Kanilai itself.
Be responsible border for all continuously.
Because we were continuously responsible for the border area.
Because it's even more uncomfortable in that border area.
Because things were not easy, or civilians were not comfortable around the border areas then.
Your patrol team was different from the other patrol team called junglers, correct?
Atollo muru nyinga ka me patrol. Altol nu jong kafudo mi ka me junglers. Altol nu tal fatatal.
O fata batale.
Yes, there is a big difference between us.
Because jinka je ko bang sade mole steady fente kala.
Our duty around the border was to make sure that villagers feel safe and steady in their villages.
And Kajeko, no rebel cross the border.
Would happen to them.
And
nothing will happen to them too.
And no rebel cross the border with arms.
No rebel will cross the border also with arms.
The Gambian soil.
To come into the Gambian territory.
And the other group? What differentiates you with the other group?
Mune mfatam fansile bani okafudo tema.
Wolka patrol ifangwa because all patrol fangolong ika patrol munda.
Those people patrol for themselves because we don't even know what kind of patrol they carry.
Sometimes ka patrol le fay do na base fang kono wado.
Sometimes they do patrol until they come into our base sometimes.
Because in 2007 nga rebel arrest why they crossed the border to Gambian terrorist soil.
Because in 2007 we arrested some rebels for crossing the border and they came into our territory.
Rebels from where?
Rebel men bora minto.
These are numerous factions on the Milan Cobra side rebel soldiers.
This is a rebel faction who were part of Juma.
Salif Sajo
rebel. These people were members of the Salif Sajo rebel faction.
Because faction full of the and the Manjapa border fanana.
Because there were two factions and they were all close to the border.
So these rebels been killed two factions and you killed what time so Salfa Mona decided to do Gambia Kono, Kagambia so you so arrest 17 of them.
Because at that time they themselves, the two factions, were even fighting each other to the point of the group on the Salif Sajo decided to cross the border and they were using Gambian territory. So we decided to go for them and we arrested about 17 of them.
And the arrest surprisingly,
and the arrests were surprising to them.
With heavily armed, it was rebel found.
And the rebels were heavily armed.
With the arms, you must throw a jorong serum to jorong symbols on jorong, but we arrest no very easily because
we arrested them and it was a surprise to them because they were more heavily armed than us. They had more sophisticated arms than us, but they didn't know that we were already on the ground before when they were coming in. So this is why we surprised them and arrested them.
Salif Sajo's second in command, Pap Sane was arrested that day.
Salif Sajo's second in command, called Pap Sane, was arrested that day.
And we summoned to our camp from the base in Sibanor.
We brought them to our base camp in Sibanor.
So for around Tilbulo.
They were there till in the afternoon time.
Mr. Witness, you're not actually called to testify about that particular incident. It just suffices for you to explain that you worked as a genuine bona fide border patrol personnel.
Ko la seden roñing me ko mande pour ka o sifal be sada bari ye ko mande men wala nyindi ko men ba ko muso jarol mi alon ko ila do ko be ko no wala kata boda do kata murumur la ka kol jube so la seden roñing pour nga nyati lu wala o fannal.
You worked on the team that was patrolling the border. Why did you move from that job?
Ika do ko ke so ibe sojar fanna bingira fanna men wala menu kata murumuru na newolto muna yadna e manata na o kafoto
melnate bondi o kafo kono.
Not tough time na soto army kono.
I had a tough time in the army.
I'm easy mbulu o time of in the army kono.
It was not easy for me in the army at that time.
Could you explain why? What happened?
Because sometimes I jele ko ntemu jara dingolati and ntemu mode melon ko nga balan ko melon ko mange kukendoti.
Because sometimes it is the reason that I am from Jara and I'm somebody who is stubborn. I don't do things which are bad things which sometimes they would want me to do. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to tell the truth.
And
even if you are a general, whatever rank you have, I'm not afraid to tell you the truth when it comes to the truth. And nobody will use me in anything which is not right.
Mr. Witness, you're speaking in general terms. Could you tell us exactly what the problems were?
Bondi nang kana o patrol team auto nga all explain we not bondanje because not a classes like apply after.
The reason why I left that patrol team is what I'm trying to explain. In fact, afterwards I had to apply for classes.
because ngajele ko at the end of the day cool belanka mbe jawala so another classes la apply.
Because I saw that at the end of the day, something very bad was going to happen to me, so I decided to apply for classes.
Why was something bad expected to happen to you?
Because one jungler Ismaila Jammeh was threatening the call, I'm going to arrest you.
Because one jungler called Ismaila Jammeh was always threatening me that he will arrest me.
Any guard post as a head in that guard post, I can follow up.
Wherever I am doing duty as a guard post head, he will follow me up to that point.
Why was that the case?
Just as I said, I don't agree to things that are not right. And I always say it loudly and clearly. I don't even hide anything.
Some people even call me general.
That's why some people started even calling me general. Because I'm not afraid to tell anybody the truth.
Mr. Witness, just you wanting the truth or speaking the truth would not be reason why you have to ask for a transfer. Something must have happened. Something must have happened.
You can transfer kabo infantry side bank.
And akakumo memfola nyindiko kafodron ite hanyitele jiso benda katonya fo moli wodam mante keno la dalilo ti pour ka foko ham woto an batunga bonjin karado la ngasawun ako fokudo etara koma meya lonko wole sitara e sondo mokono men si dewundi pour yebo karola
Ha wala indiko because after ngajele ko kule la na ranka wa mialan ko ate baila so ngajele ko is better nga classes apply nga classes ke so baila ko insi kanu o mantoro nyima.
Because how things were going, the trend which was going on, I saw that towards the end of that thing, something bad might happen to me. So before I wait for that, I decided to apply for classes.
But what was it bad that was going on, which made you feel threatened?
Because fasa fanso be army kono because you have traversing be army kono le fasa fanso siala le be pare ni mala itela kola ita kara so no.
Because there were many factions in the army and tribalism was ripe in the army, and if they don't trust you, they always follow you and create problems for you.
Were you discriminated based on your ethnic group?
Of course.
Of course.
Could you tell us about it?
Yes, you are from Jara. You are a native of Jara. You are not somebody who is loyal to Jammeh.
You are not loyal every time.
You are not loyal every time. Those are the type of words, the type of things they tell me.
Who would tell you that?
This is Ismaila Jammeh.
The Ismaila Jammeh.
One staff sergeant Jammeh Jibril.
And one staff sergeant Jammeh Jibril.
Lumkilimbe on a guard post.
One day I was even on guard post.
The staff sergeant Jibril Jammeh Anraje.
Staff sergeant Jibril Jammeh came there.
And in one private Jaju.
One private Jaju.
We are on Mantra company kili.
And we were not even in the same company.
And
it was at night.
I already wala put one point. I rifle cock.
And he ordered the other guy to point his rifle at me, and he cocked his gun.
And there was a round inside the chamber pointed at direct to me.
And there was a round in the chamber which was directly pointed at me.
So that day, injury from
in fact, that night I sustained an injury in my hand, on my hand.
That day very seriously.
My hand was wounded seriously. I was injured seriously.
How did you come to be wounded?
Because Capra rifle another for a certain distance.
When they came up to a certain distance from me,
just like the distance mean just like the lead council tema.
Just a distance like between where I'm sitting and where the lead counsel is.
So he ordered this private judge to cock his rifle and
He ordered
against me.
He ordered private judge to point his gun at me and cock the rifle.
So kabra okay draw.
When he did that,
Because
because they came behind me.
And they are walking slowly come
They were coming very slowly, just like if you are coming behind somebody silently. The time he cocked the rifle, that's the time when I turned around.
Because I
was also having a rifle.
So and
I also had a knife.
So how do you turn the nyamen?
So as I quickly turned,
so
my bayonet or my knife, which was attached to the rifle, it is that knife which pierced my hand.
Because how do you come?
Because of in the hurry I was in.
That was an accident, wasn't it?
The accident on the Kodi.
But
it was caused by them.
Staff Sergeant Jibril Jammeh.
Staff Sergeant Jibril Jammeh.
But of course, Staff Sergeant Jibril Jammeh did not appreciate that by cocking their rifle against you, you would tear your bayonet would cut your finger or your hand.
Staff Sergeant Jibril Jammeh allow ko baro nyinka kala kido nyin kok odan ka kido nyin parendi kama o ma ngania ko pour if pri bulu la ngoni yenama
I feel ngania munta me fangote.
He had maybe he had intended something which was worse than the knife wound.
Because kido cock and rifle around inside the chamber.
Cock a rifle where there was a round inside the chamber. That was more risky than the wound I sustained from the knife.
Did he release the bullet?
I
Immediately,
I don't reach the bullet.
Immediately I turned, they didn't fire.
Was it in their power to fire? Was it possible? Was it his choice to fire or not to fire?
At that point in time, because
answer the question. The question is, did he have a choice at that time to pull the trigger and shoot or not to pull the trigger? Because at that night he's next to the person in charge of the duty officer. He's next to him that night, duty officer in command.
I don't think he has the choice to fire, but that night he was next to the duty officer in charge.
Mr. Witness, the bottom line is you are not shot.
Yes,
among boom, but it's a threat.
Yes, he didn't shoot.
It's a life threatening them.
But it was a life threat.
What was the reason?
I don't even know the reason.
Did you ask them what the reason was?
Of course, because
I asked them what was their reason because I was angry. And they didn't tell me anything.
Did you report to the army leadership?
Of course, military police report the following morning, but
yes, the following morning I went to the military police, but nothing came out of it.
Why do you think nothing came out of it?
Because you go back to question them why okay, but after there's no any result more about the matter.
They said they will call him and question him, but afterwards I didn't receive any result about the matter.
Did you inquire as to why?
Anyway, ngako inquire bari mana akaso boni jaba kono nara understand from ko ate phone nara diam lole ko ba make sure ko put in the arrest.
Well, I inquired, but still I was not given any positive result. In fact, that's why one day afterwards he said he will make sure that they arrest me.
Mr. Witness, your position is that you are constantly threatened by ex-jungler Ismaila Jammeh.
Sedo ila lodla mendi wala mnyindiko iko Ismaila Jammeh aketa mwalimu alon ko watu watakatule masala nilale wala mwila lodlate.
Hankai.
Yes.
Because no sudo fa after them put an arrest at the bachelor's quarters. So now roommate ni ka fay jaju. We inform kaya ko don't worry it cannot possible.
In fact, one night I was given the information that he wanted to come and arrest me at our quarters. A roommate of mine came and informed him. I told him, don't worry, it will not be possible.
This problem you had with Ismaila, was it a personal problem between two soldiers, or was it a problem between the army and you?
Ako nin kole ya me ya soro in Ismaila Jammeh fo kole ya me ya lon ko abedna te mo fulol tema bam fo kole ya me ya lon ko abete nin ade ni sojarol tema
Ntenga jele ko kole ya me ya lon ko abedna te tema.
I saw it that it is just between the two of us.
It was only personal.
Amunda mo fula ko la alni ina mo fulo ran tema
At the time ngaje wol nyama.
Yes, at that time that's how I saw it.
And why did he have a problem with you?
Itala miraro mone asabu ani anite kole ya ko soro.
Because among confidential sort na kuoto kara banko nyaton ko la kuoto.
Because he had no confidence in me about the head of state.
No, he said Campo La Nyato.
Banko nyaton ko.
Banko Nyatonko is head of state.
Campo Nyatonko.
Banko Nyatonko.
Ah, okay. All right. I thought you said Campo Nyatonko.
Banko.
Okay. Good. So he said he did not have any confidence in your loyalty to the president.
Amunda ko amanjiko soro pour ila songo e waranto ila tilimo e Banko Nyatonko e.
Yes.
In your statement,
Ila kuma kan safere ngoto.
you said as follows.
Mem foje mbina wala fola.
I was given a tough time as a military officer, as I could recall usually being threatened by ex-jungler WO1 Ismaila Jammeh.
Iko ila sojare wato nyim kono yin haklo nyim ma jongula do beje ka fama me Ismaila Jammeh wato be akatule silani lale.
Ngol di statement kono.
Yes, I said that in my statement.
I was usually told that I am a Jaranka, and Jarankas are not loyal to the president, as I was always resisting some of their unprofessional assignments.
Kaiko ita mu jarankol di andu ko jarankol mu molde min yalon ko man so yaya jammema andum
Inata ke
molde me yalon ko man buka son kangol min yalon ko inin tilo manta
Statement.
Yes, it's part of my statement.
That you said that to the investigator.
Yolo fonna kiskisir lali.
Yes.
You also told them that you were always resisting some of their unprofessional assignments based on tribal segregation being promoted in the army.
Andi ko wato do fanan na ila kango do beje me yalon ko menni silo manta e buka songala nyin kamala ko e kango ni sila nyikata ni sila me yalon ko hake si fadam fan solte de sojar kunda.
Yes. Can you explain that?
For iso sata fanu minya bang. O kono fanu minya bang.
Fasan faso nying.
Yes.
Segregation.
This tribal segregation, I imagine that meant discrimination.
Yes, si fatam fanso. Wala minti ka si fatam fanso no sambekang.
Because in the army from Kono.
Because in the army,
near the Jolaji,
if you are a Jola, they all have the same similar thing.
And they cover.
And they cover each other. They are always united.
If
one has a problem, his other colleagues will cover him.
Mr. Witness, isn't that normal?
Can you defend?
They defend each other. Abela.
They protect each other.
Can you tankani kodi?
Yeah, can you protect?
Yes.
They try to be united.
And katale puri ke kilinti.
Yes.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Why I said that because being one, sometimes it happens that what has happened is not even true.
Because it work for punishment.
If somebody does something wrong, which carries a punishment, sometimes that person is not punished.
You are not in the Jola side, so neither is wrong. You are automatically punished, and it worse.
And if you are not one of their tribe members, you happen to do something, they will punish you instantly, and sometimes the punishment itself is overdone. Myself, in fact, I was born with the Jolas in Fonyi.
Because migrated from Fonyi Someta to Jarasoma.
Because my father migrated from Fonyi Someta to Jarasoma. I was born with the Jola tribe. They are not bad people. I will not tell lies against them. But if they happen to do something which is wrong, and the person should be punished, they don't punish him. They will cover him. But if the other person does something which is wrong,
so it will because if we arrested and probably
because they will arrest you, and in fact you find yourself in a problem which is so bad.
You are against the head of state. You are not loyal.
Because what they usually say is that you are not loyal to the head of state.
What are you telling us? What are you telling us? If a Jola does a thing, it is not a problem. But if somebody else from another tribe does the same thing, it can be a big problem. Is that what you tell me?
Even if it is not something very serious, which the president is not aware of, that is covered. But if the president is aware of it, they can't cover that.
Isn't that normal?
If the president is aware of that crime committed, they will not be able to cover it up. But if the crime, the president isn't aware of the crime, nothing will come out of it.
What I am trying to get from you is the justification of the allegation of tribal discrimination in the army.
Lafta commence to wala minti ko tonya lafta ko wala sute wala si fatam fansi ko menga ke sojar kundaro.
Because what you seem to be suggesting is a serious allegation. Is that Jolas were given preferential treatment in the army? That's what you are saying.
Yeah,
because
yeah, the truth is the Jolas have more power in the army. And even if they say something, even if it is not true, that's what will happen. That's what will stand.
Can you give us examples?
Example that I can give, as I said,
Ni jola do ko ke mi alon ko ayenda ka police.
If a Jola commits a crime,
I'm not asking for you to give me an answer in hypothetical terms. What I am saying is give me concrete examples.
Ako lafto ye jabiro mendina wala mi misalo me alon ko abe sabatri ngando seneyata le.
and satara kulo meneketa misali kama ila cross road ila jero.
I mean, everybody who comes to the TRRC has to be treated fairly.
Momo na TRRC jang mo nganga do ko muta nyame mbete fana mari mudala wala nyamat.
And allegations that are made are always scrutinized.
Tumiro la me alon ko fotale waranda ke aya fota moma fo sa ki tumiro nyinga kisi nga longa.
Give us concrete examples of tribal discrimination in the army.
Te misalo dinna me alon ko si fana fanzi ko la sojar kundaro.
Si fanza fana bije nka fo ngam fo wala nyite ko.
The discrimination that I'm talking about in the army is
Army kono.
in the army.
Hana promotion fola.
Even on the side of promotion.
Ikanyala to mo ke promote.
The pick and choose.
Ite melan ko ila ko diata muni ila ko ni ila ko diata promote.
They pick and choose those who are going to be promoted. If
ni
they like you,
ni de ko man diata promote. The GAF camp Yundum.
they are all at the GAF camp in Yundum.
Because Yundum Barracks is divided into two camps.
Because Yundum Barracks is divided into two camps.
You have infantry side.
You have the infantry side.
And you have the GAF camp.
And you have the GAF camp.
That is that's what they call HQ camp.
That's what they call the HQ camp.
But in the flow,
These two people,
another more promote me along ko it only over Juta will found.
people were promoted over them, whom you know, they were more overdue than those people promoted over them.
After Nducham la coup d'etat.
After Ndurcham's attempted coup.
Like who?
Nkamunda Juma.
People like immediately after Nducham coup, Jibril Bojang
Immediately after the Ndurcham coup, people like Jibril Bojang
was promoted to captain.
he was promoted to captain.
This RSN Sabali is promoted to lieutenant.
RSM Savali was promoted just to the position of a lieutenant.
And they are all 001 class 1.
And they were all the same rank WO1 class 1.
And this CC also is promoted, before he's promoted at time Tabake, Jibril Bojang go ahead of him.
And Sisa, before he was promoted, took a long time, and Jibril Bojang was promoted ahead of him.
Jibril went up to the lieutenant colonel. Why these people they are still captain?
Jibril went to the level of lieutenant colonel when these people were still at the position of captain.
So is Jibril Jola or Mandinka?
Jibril Mujola de Mandingo.
Jibril Bojang is a Jola. He's from Fonyi.
Jibril Bojang is a Jola from Fonyi.
And your claim is that he got those rapid promotions only because of the fact that he is Jola.
Mundela kanindo mendola mnyindiko ayo makamal lafa taringo soro nyame wala mnyindiko kadum amu Jola.
Yeah, because mobe ya yewol nyambar bare mobuga diam.
But that's how everybody saw it. But nobody dares to talk about it.
Is this the only example you can give us?
Indona misalo riba isi mendino naba.
Como promotion sifa siata army kono.
Those kind of promotions were many in the army.
Promotion siata back army kono me alan ko no abke sawarde do go fonto.
The type of promotions carried out in the army, on just like these ones, were many, and in fact, it kills your spirit in the army.
Because there are many, it should not be difficult for you to give us more examples.
Katung ni ngawala nyara isiada wala ko le ale bulu pour ka misalo dinna.
Como senga?
Ni comme ya ba ka asiada ni asiada orata kole ala manyana kole ale bulu pour ka mol tol dinda misalol men wo keda menula.
Pour ka misalol di
pour ka mans ko ya fote nyami yenyi mo fulo la ko mo fote nyami.
You want to think or you can come to the question later. It's no big problem. All we want to do is to get to the truth and to ensure that people have a basis for the opinions that they give to the commission.
Akamen fola mindiko ndina ni ay laftan sabula fanyar bari ntel akamen nyinin ka wala min alafta tonya kesolela me ya lonko molu saje ya lonko nyino to nyati ikamen foten wala akanyin santiyo lu nyinin ka ibulu ko nyin fulo men ya sata ten wayri ko siata sojar bundala alafta le dolu lafa ite menuje ibuta menu kalama menu keta sojar bundala.
But promotion in the army nga funyamen rek Jola in the side of Jola wale soto miyalan ko iman londi soto makamo into londi tebuli man karang ani muni yalan ko e fango loyandi ya jame ka ku jawol ke molla miyalan ko yaje ko yinde man loyal ya jame sa mari ares ka ku timbra ko ke molla hana remen ko Jola de wol fansi rank sifa wol fansi rank jama soto no ay traya.
Well, many of them were promoted because of the tribe they belong to. And some are there, they don't even have the education to reach those positions which were given to them. They have very little knowledge, but they were promoted to higher positions because they were doing some bad things to people on behalf of Yaya Jammeh. This is why they were given high positions, because of what they were doing.
Mr. Witness, what you have said is crystal clear. All we want is for you to give us examples. If you cannot, say you cannot. If you need time to think about it, we will give you time. Or if you know the answers off the head, just give us the answers. But what we want to know is give us a few examples.
Left time men dinna jandro wala misalo de santiongol to hakilo men muda ninga dra hakilo tamura no sai sa fa nga wato dila waranto ni mo hakilo tamura no se wato dila ya ko mira jumal ni jumal lam
no answer so mindi no dino bari ajama bijere so bari ngamundi science no so dino.
Okay, the ones I can remember are the ones that I have given, but a lot of those type of things were happening.
Okay, so we take it that you gave us just one example.
Yes.
Good. And because you were not, you had this clash with WO1 Ismail Ajame, who constantly told you or threatened you with arrest because he believed that you are Jaranka and you're not loyal to Yaya Jammeh. Did you tell him that the loyalty should be to the Constitution of the Republic?
Yeah, sinang birin tumala mena ini nyim sojaro nyosoro me alonko ako ito moldi me alonko imang loyal president we. Fo ya fane ko bang president manke mol nyana loyal mena constitution mem banko luwauti nyana loyal wala nyana tilina wala.
No, I did not say that there should not be loyalty to the president. What I said was, did you tell him that the loyalty should be to the Constitution?
Amunda amen for the wala mintiko bankola constitution wala bankola banko sambaran kitabu bani sartolu bebe men kono imari la tilimu ngani nyanta tarla wala.
Go fole sinya jama.
Yes, I said that many times. Even Ismail Jammeh himself, I told him that. I told him I'm not afraid of anything.
Because I'm in the
army to serve my country. And to serve the country, the president is part of that. And any citizen or any countryman is part of that. This is why I joined the army.
How did he react to that?
Oh, I bullshit like that.
Then if I tell him things like that, he will just bullshit me and go.
So as a result of that, you asked to go on study leave. That's what you said.
Yes. Classes apply.
I applied for classes.
Was it granted?
Through the clerk or the office also.
Through the office of the clerks.
Was it approved?
To headquarters, then
Narana sonne ba
another approve.
Yes, it was approved.
And you went on study leave?
idata da karang wala pour lifota pour karang.
Or sanjifula ha.
For 2 years, yes.
And in 2012, when you returned, where were you posted?
2012 sang kono biri pareta imurundana ye samba min dola do kola.
No, among 2012, ni mutana another post mitola because classes in from I start about 2012 classes in 2012 after classes in on.
2012, by then the classes were on.
But you hadn't completed by then, right?
But then man classes bang.
Yes, it was not completed by then.
But in 2012, where were you posted?
2012 ye samba do kola min tole.
No, 2012 mbe was Yundum Barracks there, but mbe classes la.
I was in Yundum Barak, but still going to classes.
Mbe on the Yundum Barracks there.
But still I was at the Yundum Barak.
On the infantry side, Alpha Company.
Under the infantry side, Alpha Company.
But in August 2012, you were moved to the president's farm in Farato, correct?
August karo kono 2012 finare ne saundi president la kunkoto Farato.
Hani.
No.
What happened?
Hani. Mo move from the president la farm in Farato.
I was not moved to the president's farm at Farato.
Where were you?
Venu min tole.
Mbe classes la.
I was attending classes.
Were you ever moved to
Janding classes nying ngara president farm in Farato. Janding classes start da.
Before the start of the classes, that was the time when I was going to the president's farm at Farato.
Were you still going
during classes nying hani?
Were you still going there during classes?
No.
Ikata jele bang hani wado be karang wala bang. Ala kunkor foi kata jele hani kabi wado be karang wala.
What time be karang wala but no what time man ko taxaje.
No, during the classes I don't go to the farm.
So when did you stop going to the president's farm?
Wadi jumala miya dabula pour kata president wala kunkor.
Around 2011.
That was in 2011.
So
Kata 2012.
Towards 2012.
And for how long between the events that concerned your departure from the country, how long was it that you did not go to the president's farm?
Wadi jellel ta channing ibe bola jang kata kafindi banko kang iya da bula pour kata president wala kunkor.
And kari woro ma fon.
About 6 months.
Sapuna
It might be a little bit more than 6 months.
So in 2012, you were still going to the president's farm, correct?
Munda 2012 han ka bibida kan ngala kunkor president wala kunkor.
2012 we entra classes na fanya we entra on the classes fon.
2012, by then I was doing the classes.
End of 2011, were you still going to the president's farm?
2011 bandula ma fon han ka bibida kan ngala kunkor.
2010 ma 2011.
Yes, in 2011.
Kata for 2011 na ba ma fon.
The end of 2011, yes.
Okay. So what happened in August 2012?
Muna kata August karo kono 2012.
August 2012.
In August 2012,
Classes that day, classes in Brikama.
I was going to classes. On that day, I went to classes in Brikama.
Because what I'm on the farm for a year.
Time when I was going to the farm,
Because I
know some civilians there. And some civilians there also know me.
So Kataje duties la fam Kataje sometimes what time classes and Kataje almost 1 week or more than or sometimes for 2 weeks from Kataje sometime.
Sometimes I spend a week or more than or up to 2 weeks at the campus there.
Posted.
They post me there.
Okay, let me ask you. This was the president's farm, you said. Yes?
Yes.
It is his private property.
Yes.
It was not government property. What were you doing there? Why were you posted there?
In Sambaje doko munekama mol mbeyan ko gana doko je pour kaje ko pour le sikyo fana.
The reason why we were posted there is that people who come to work on the farm should have security.
So in essence, is taxpayers' money that are being used to secure the president's private property. That's what you're telling us.
Amunta kam men fonya wala mi digo banku dingol la namu kodolu. Ika wala ke muna fam wala ka pers mol jo men membe mol kandala president la kunko.
Ha.
Yes.
How did you see that?
Ite woje nyaadi le.
Ngaji ko among rights.
I saw it that it's not right.
But man choice ro fanam pukra je do ko fanala.
But we had no choice about going to that place.
Because come police like a safe notice boroto putting with certain amount of soldiers putting near taje.
Because whenever those things are prepared, they publish your name, write it on the notice board, and we go there with some other soldiers.
And in that process, you came to know some of the civilians who were working there.
Because a lot of people go there to work on the farm.
And then in 2012, August, what happened?
So in 2012, August karo muna keta?
22nd, 2012.
August 2012.
Okay, that we want to classes for na.
That day I went to classes.
Be also mandani from because that time I'm still living in Sukuta for that time.
In the morning I went to classes, but at that time I was resident at Sukuta.
So no classes that time now. So that day 2012 that classes for also mandani.
That day after I went to classes.
One civilian Gafa Musa Yaya Jallo.
One civilian called Musa Yaya Jallo.
So around till blue mafon.
In the afternoon.
Time. So Aaron called.
He called me.
Telephone auto.
With his phone.
Ako yeso Sadio la Farato farm.
They said they were given a ship at the Farato farm.
I will explain telephone auto.
He explained that to me on the phone.
When was the last time you spoke to that person or saw that person before this day?
What did you malam ye idiam da nyimari waranto ikadia kaje jani nyinuma?
I don't know because I can from for ya.
Yes, he knows me because he sometimes comes all the way to my home.
The question is not whether you know the person.
The question is when was the last time you spoke to him before that date?
Around September.
I last talked to him around September.
September the year before or September of that year?
September
from 2012. September from 2012.
But that could not be. We are talking about August 2012.
August 2012
The last day I saw him,
you are telling us, you're giving us a story about what happened on August 2012.
August 2012.
Before that date, August 2012.
August 2012.
When was the last time you spoke to this person? Before August 2012.
August 2012.
Sorry.
the months were mixed by
August.
It's the month before August.
July karoti.
That was in July.
So July karoti. August.
I missed and went ahead of August.
So July the go August.
It's July. I'm saying August.
Okay.
July
I last talked to him in July.
Okay.
I take Musa Yaya Jallo nyimfong.
This Musa Yaya Jallo.
So you haven't seen
that day.
You haven't seen him since then until August.
Monday Maje for August.
Maje for time of for August from and 22nd after September.
August is before September.
July after July.
After July, yes. So August 22nd, he told you something.
August 2012 I found for.
August karonjing kapina la mana nyoja nuwato July.
Yes.
So August 22nd July kapina July la mana nyoja July. So August 2012.
I last saw him in July. So in August 2012.
What are the classes for that day? Ungafanya until bro I call.
In fact, I was attending classes in the afternoon time. Then he called me.
Because more me along ko I
Because somebody who knows me. He comes to my home.
Stop the repetition, Mr. Witness. We know you know each other. In fact, just avoid the repetition.
When he called me on the phone.
I'm for that August 2012 on that till blue phone. Why make a photo? I ain't call water na kunyeko. Sajul deny farm photo.
He told me that they were given a ship at Yaya Jam's farm that afternoon.
How many?
Jelu. Nkai ko sajul dila kunyeko. Nkai sajul kunya ha. Nkai ko juma sajul.
I asked him, who gave you that ship?
Sajul jelu.
How many ships?
He
said there were 4. I said, how can that be possible? 4 ships. Who gave you this ship?
Because he
said it was given to me because I have a program. He said I did a job for them and these are the ship that they gave me for my payment. Because the manager said he doesn't have money to pay me. So when I explained my problem, to him, then this is why he gave me these 4 ships.
And then what did you do?
So he said he wants to bring this ship to where my mother was staying in Brikama. I told him if that is the case, take the ship to another place. But on the whole, by that time, he had already departed and was coming with the ship. Because where he was taking the ship to, I wasn't aware, I didn't know. So during that time, in that time, on the whole, they didn't give him this ship. He himself took the ship for himself.
You mean he stole them?
Look, it looks like he stole the ship from the farm itself.
It looks like, or he actually stole them.
After because I had to call Yamen.
It was after that I realized that he stole the ship because the way he called me.
Because the phone call.
They called me later.
Through a number for official lembang kajibe and Jumal Diamtano.
And because they were checking whom he talked to, so they were checking his numbers.
So investigation
during that investigation,
so
they saw the ship.
And then say back to the farm.
And the ship were returned to the farm.
When were the ship found?
Sajul ni yeje wati jumala.
Kabla sajul ni bondi wato minna kabla bondi wato minna actually mala asamba from them exactly.
When he took the ship, actually I didn't know where he took them to.
You have to listen to the question.
When
were the sheep found?
In the afternoon
of the same day.
Sorry, around afternoon time, but exactly time more.
In the afternoon time, but I don't know the exact time.
Of the same day.
How long for that very day?
Yes, that very day.
And when the sheep were found, where were they taken?
Back to the farm.
The sheep were returned back to the farm. According to my own investigation.
Do you know where the sheep were recovered?
ye damen ya amari dal is a foreigner mbare ma tol fono ma tolong.
If ship were found at a foreigner's place, but I don't know the person's name.
Was this foreigner apprehended?
Fanyi foreigner ni yilunda onye inata na mutale ba.
Actually ngamare na mutale.
I think he was arrested.
But ate fa manga jandingote ate musa
If you say he's a foreigner, obviously ate fango mante jandingote.
Niko foreigner no wala mlunda wala wange jandingote.
He was apprehended.
Ya muta kodi.
He would have said where he got them from.
But ni kabli ya muta fasa fo ay soro mindole.
Actually man na bulaka long ate kabli ya muta fana ya muta ya sama mindole fana man na long.
Actually, after he was arrested, I didn't follow it up. I just came to know that somebody was arrested.
Okay. On your part, on your side of things, you were called by this Jalo guy and told that, well, he was given this sheep. You asked him to take them elsewhere. What happened after that?
Saya tidak karole ko nyin jallo konton wa kumandi ko ya so sa yolle la ko ala taksi sambe ila dolar ila iba maya sai mun nar nake
kabra fonye ngai ko ngai ko sayo samba sai kabra sayo ni nara ina sayo muta wato mena isajo mburundi back to the farm and you are somebody because I understand ko ina mari from muta
we are going back to what
muru kalne wala na ko kuma sainkan nga wotuje yenyum fele nun ko isajo lu mutale ye murundi kampoto yo fele nun sinya fulafan sai ka muru kan ko take akawla ko indi mateng sai biru botala ye isajo lu je murundi kampoto be kola mule na take
itela side
itela karola
intela karo muna je wala because kabi call
when they called me
because kabi call because more follow me in the call.
The first person who called me,
I come explain you found.
He explained things to me.
One of my room medley because I couldn't go.
He's one of my.
So you're already.
He told me that soldiers are looking for you.
Because you go Nimi Sajota in the connived.
He said, I'm saying that the person who stole this ship connived with you.
So from time when you come out for you.
So since he told me that, I told him I'm going to the camp. I went to the camp.
So on the camp,
I was at the camp.
Because at
the camp my gun is in my house. Because in many cases I don't return my camp. Because my partner was in the house.
So
was it allowed that you don't return your rifle to the armory?
Nika renew every time, every 2-3 days or 5 days time. Nika renew.
Yes, if you go and renew that the gun is between 3 to 5 days. It shouldn't be more than a week without renewing, because if it goes beyond a week, they will ask you why didn't you renew.
Tell us what you did while you were at the camp.
I was at the camp.
So you called telephone.
They called me on the phone.
The
bulldozer. One of them called me so that I can go and answer to them.
Okay.
Who are the bulldozers?
Bulldozers.
There was another team which were formed here.
From which force were they formed?
Different units, police, para, army. They
were made of people from different units, police, the paramilitary, and other branches of the security.
Was it a regular force or was it just clandestine?
Firstly, fanala me alonko attendant wala nyamba 4 years.
Firstly me alonko ya joined.
It was a joint force.
Was joined a different faction of different institutional joint security force.
Different institutions, members of the different institutions were incorporated into the commander was
police.
The commander was a policeman.
And the army CDJUF was the twice.
And the CDJUF, a member of the army, was the twice, the second in command.
What time?
That time.
What was its role?
Bulldozer, come on, arrest.
Bulldozer were arresting people.
But I don't know
who really formed the team.
Kato mo yelo bulldozer. Ndefan kato mo nyama. But man actually jumani team form.
I just hear their name, bulldozer, but I don't know who formed the team.
Okay, so did you go to respond?
Ina na jela bang kate jabi bang.
Man taga respond.
I didn't go.
Why?
Muna ya sawi manta.
Because ito kata damen all the way to Bakau. Ko tano.
They told me to go all the way to Bakau. I told them I cannot go to Bakau.
I'm here at Jundum.
I am at Yundum.
So Mbeje.
I was there.
Young called the NIA CID called.
The CID office called me.
The military police called at the same time.
At the same time, the military police called me.
At the same time, so more inform ko Jongosol bina kana purke arrest.
And another time, somebody also called me telling me that the junglers are coming to arrest you.
So what time want to decide to kabo kampo to karasi Brikama Jamisa.
That's the time when I decided to leave the camp and go and stay at Brikama Jamisa.
So mbo stay Brikama Jamisa ngana kilo tu bunkono.
I left my gun inside the house and I went to Brikama Jamisa.
Ngana partner inform ko na kilo nying abo bunkono.
I informed my partner that my gun is in the house.
But
I am at a certain place so and so.
Brikama Jamisa. Mbije for suto.
I was there until at night.
So call binakan different angle.
Calls were coming from different angles.
But
I was there still.
Was not telephone off.
Because I didn't put off my phone.
So it was sokono.
They went home and checked for me. They cannot find me.
Military police.
And among them were the military police.
CID bakono.
The CID officer was among them. Bulldozer.
So in a picture from bunkono.
They took my photo from the room. And they went along with that photo.
Hence,
because they were looking for me, but they still cannot find me.
You mean that 4 sheep were stolen?
Yes.
Yes, that's what they told me.
Sheep were recovered.
Yes, they said they were recovered.
And they were returned.
Because
Because after my inquiry, I was informed that they were all returned.
And they deployed all these personnel to look for you.
All these people were made to search for me.
In your statement, you said as follows. After receiving some messages, you got suspicious that you would be arrested. Even the ex-CDS Usman Baji made an announcement on state TV GRTS that Gambian soldier in trouble for nicking President Jammeh's sheep.
Hani membe numarali nusojaro la Usman Baji wafanya kibaro di na television gumbaro wala minti ko Gambia sojaro do be me ya lonko president wala Sadio Yemandi.
Usman Baji okele in the state television because kabe nyini manje no but mbe jang manta blato but manje no imale be jele nyamen so Usman Baji have to announcement make on state television.
Yes, the Usman Baji made that television announcement because I was still here. They looked for me everywhere. When they were unable to locate me, that's the time when he went on TV to make that announcement.
4 sheep.
Saji nani?
They recovered them. The sheep were returned.
And I was told that all the sheep were returned.
They deployed the police to search for you.
Yes.
They deployed the bulldozers to look for you.
Yes.
Even the CDS had to be involved and make an announcement on
because I have the document here with me.
Could you produce it?
Because not all the investigators from
I gave one to the investigators.
The amount of money spent doing all that far outweighs the cost of the 4 sheep. I have the paper here. Actually, it's a post. I don't know where, but it shows the article is a corporal in the Gambian army has been declared wanted by the army for allegedly stealing 4 sheep belonging to President Jammeh.
Eto ementani wala nyindi corporal do me alon ko do ko la Gambia National Army sojarol be suwari ngala nyin kamala ko saji nane wala sunya me alon ko president wala tamu mbenu nyam.
Maybe they should have added that those sheep were already recovered.
Asikeno nyana la fala jenu bana ka ko wala saji wala bana ijedal.
In any case, as a result of that, what did you do?
Hani ka bi onyawo dalilo kan ina na muneke.
Na telephone mbuko fa.
Tell us what you did.
Afanya yemenke.
Na munge wali ndiko after 1 week.
What I did was after 1 week.
Mike.
What I did was after 1 week.
Man solution so no akwoto.
I had no solution about the matter.
Did you try a solution at all?
Ina na fero so na akwoto la bang nyala bang.
Because mom actually most of them ko as a solution of dino, but the only solution is outside Bankoto.
Well, because I had no solution and I had nobody to help me with a solution, so I decided by myself that let me leave the country.
And I decided to go to Guinea-Bissau.
And I decided to go to Guinea-Bissau.
Mr. Witness,
Yes, sir.
you had a career.
You
have your family. But at the camp, and in Birkama. For 4 sheep that have been recovered, you had nothing to do with their theft, as you claim. They just asked about you. You decided to flee the jurisdiction.
Because
The reason why I decided to leave the country,
because CDS found Usman Baji.
Because CDS himself, Usman Baji,
Well, announced in the state television.
he made the announcement over
And
the
the
my picture that they took from my house, that's what was shown on the TV.
Mr. Witness, did you steal the sheep?
Did you?
No, as I said, I didn't steal the sheep.
Did you connive with the person who stole the sheep?
No, but he's somebody whom we were closely acquainted.
Well, he is also acquainted with a host of other people in this country. Why did you have to run away? You did nothing. Somebody who is accused that he is not loyal. And what was going on also, I know. Because if they happen to catch me, it will be very serious, because before the truth is announced or is declared, they would have done something to me. By that time, they would have been ready with me. Something like what? Because near arrest? Because if I am arrested, I believe that they will beat me. And I believe that something else more serious than beating can happen to me. Like what? Because my own family because a member of my family in fact informed me that if these people get you, they will kill you. Before knowing the truth. Before knowing the truth. Was that something that was happening in this country? Because yes, I've seen people who didn't do anything, but they were arrested, beaten, and taken to prison, and some of them died in prison. And some of them, in fact, I'm from the same area with them. Example? Like Baba Job. Like Baba Job. How do you know he didn't do anything?
Yalo nyari ko baba man fenke.
Ani ma foko amam fenke bari hani ate fenke luwala be bankoto.
I'm not saying that he didn't do anything, but even if he does something, there is law in the country.
Luwa yanda kasilo tamandi wan luwa man tamaka no time.
The law should be followed, but there was no law in this country.
Yani luwa tamana agata mbe kala wokata.
Before they follow the law, they would have been, they will do something to you, what they wanted.
Like what?
Nkamunta komu.
They harass la, they butela.
They will harass you, they'll beat you up.
And you are afraid that would happen to you.
And they financial ta wala ko sifa sikeno ilala.
And the malafo wekena.
I don't want that to happen to me.
So you ran away.
Ola ni nara nabori kafinti.
Ha, wa na banko bula.
That's why I left the country.
Gos ngalan ko memurana.
Because I know that I will come back one day.
So where did you go?
Tara mindole.
Tara Guinea Bissau.
I went to Guinea-Bissau.
Decided pur kara together ni nam so tara nyola kara Guinea Bissau.
In fact, I decided to go along with my wife. We went together to Guinea-Bissau.
Gos nga arrange wala nyama na finta wati kele kabojang.
That's how I arranged it. We left together.
Ntel dole assist then tara through Daslame.
A friend assisted me, so we went out through Dasilame.
When you went to Guinea-Bissau, where did you go to live?
Biran itara Guinea-Bissau itara sabatire no mindole.
Gos na friendo tara Guinea Bissau ka fa.
Mister, just answer my questions.
Ngaro na te nyama
Because otherwise we wouldn't finish. If you want to talk about all these other tangential issues, just answer my questions directly.
Where did you go to Guinea-Bissau? Itara mindole Guinea-Bissau.
In Guinea Bissau, I went to the capital Bissau.
I went to the capital in
Bairo Militar.
At Bairo Militar.
And for how long did you stay there?
Itara je for what jelu?
Why in Guinea Bissau je nina muso?
Answer my question.
Itara je for what jelu? Sanje killing karifula karilulu
Bissau be more than 3 years Guinea Bissau.
It was more than 3 years I was in Guinea-Bissau.
And while you were in Guinea-Bissau, did you make any efforts to come back to Gambia?
Because
that's my first target.
Yes, that was my first target, because this is why I went to the Gambia embassy in Guinea-Bissau. This is, I thought, as a solution to go to the embassy and try to make arrangements to correct the situation, and that's the only way how I can talk to the president himself. This is why I went to Guinea-Bissau.
So, I
went to the embassy with my wife. I saw the councillor and his protocol.
You explained to them what happened.
Yes. As I said everything to them as I stated here.
And you explained to them that you wanted to return home and you wanted their assistance.
Yes, so that I can return back to the country.
And did they do anything about it?
Embassy Jaju?
Embassy Jaju.
Just answer my questions. Did they do anything about it?
Yes, the effort Balakaje?
Yes, they tried a big effort.
And they secured an arrangement for you to return.
Yes, they arranged for me to come back.
And did you come back?
From the embassy.
Yes, after I was given the final briefing from the embassy, I decided to come. Because they wrote on 2 occasions to Yaya Jammeh.
Photocopy of that paper, the investigator.
I gave that photocopy of the paper to the investigator.
Mr. Witness. Mr. Witness, I know there is a whole lot you want to say, but there are also things that we are looking for. So just allow us to lead you and you answer our questions, and you stop your insistence on telling the story as you want to.
Ko ayalo na ko ile kulafta kujamale le fola bari ndol fana be fenne nyini kan ko nyin kono sio nyin kono do ko be nyame ndo mbula do ngana do ko ga nyini kan nyame nyini karol jabi wo nyama isaje sio nyin fana kana mi wo nyama
Otherwise, we would be here until tomorrow.
Ni wanda mbetara jana fa sama.
We know you are passionate about your story.
Ngalon na ko ifo anya yesu la le pour ko la men fa wala te fan kunno.
It is very important to you.
Kumaya te fi bakele.
It is also very important to us.
Kumaya ndo fa nan fele.
But there are certain aspects of it that are not so very important for us.
Ko dol beje ko mella te ka fanna dol beje wol man kumaya baken toldo.
So allow us to lead you, and then you would soon finish. All right? Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's good.
Thank you very much. Okay. So before you returned, you were promised that everything is okay and that nothing would happen to you.
Janni be sela nan Gambia banko kanja la hiro detail ko be sa be ya be regle wala ya be topoto le sa ni simuru nan Gambia banko ka.
Kuja kelela.
Ha embassy fonto ha.
Yes, at the embassy, yes.
And you returned to Gambia?
Murunda nan Gambia banko ka.
Ha muruna ha.
Where did you go to settle?
Itara min dole ka sije.
Muruna bes bina dimbal be siri na family be siri.
Yes, I came back and went to my home with my family at Brikama.
And you were there, did anything happen to you?
Be Brikama je fo kusura do me yesoro bang.
On 28 August 2016.
2016, on the 28th of August,
arrest.
they came and arrested me.
To Senegal, I
was in fact ready to go to Senegal on that day to go and collect some material.
When did you return to Gambia? Do you recall the day?
Gambia around 2015.
I came to the Gambia in 2015.
Which month?
Around March.
Around March.
So you were in Gambia for 1 year, 6 months. No, 4 months.
Nani, and I don't hide.
So it was obvious that you were back.
All those who knew me saw me and they knew that I have returned.
But in the meantime, were you discharged from the army?
I was not discharged.
And you were not going to work? Because
I was waiting orders from them.
You had effectively deserted the army, correct?
Yes. Yes, that's how I left the country.
That is a crime for a soldier in the army. Correct?
No.
But
because of something.
The question is, by deserting, you had committed an offense.
Yes.
Okay. In the discussions of you coming, was that matter discussed?
Ila kachani nkono ini woltema je pour yemuru na Gambia banko kanjang fo kuhuni ya kachale ba yobe kachale.
Yes, that all that was discussed.
And assurance da pour ngana sena fana.
And I was given the assurance to come home.
And what was the settlement with regards to the issue of the desertion?
Say ni say da nanja su muna be kala ko di mala ngo yela do ko fili jay tata o ko nyingi muna keta bengo
was embassy mtani ni wala ndiko ebe murra Gambia after ebe murra ami fonkono.
What the embassy told me was that you are now free to go back to the Gambia. And you will be reinstated back into the army.
You go back to the army.
Okay. When you returned to Gambia, did you report to the army? The question is,
yes,
did you report yourself to the army?
Because Mr. to the ex-president found.
Yes, because I wrote to the ex-president to inform him that I have returned and I want to go back to my work.
Embassy found constantly because
the embassy told me that if you go back, write to the president to make sure that you go back to the army.
Do you have a copy of that letter?
You later on you have a copy be bulaba.
To president from from Bissau Molo Soja.
hani akoy men safe kaki president we for a letter or a copy be bulle
no Bissau tales.
No, that's one from Bissau.
Did you in fact write to the president to tell him that you were in the country and you needed to resume your work in the army?
Yeah, me fam ite later of on safe president ko ka kala mudan ko be banko kanjan and we left la kamuru soldier kundaro ila do ko la.
Yes, President Jammeh found.
Yes, President Jammeh himself.
Because at ko be watale bulu.
Because he is the person responsible for everything.
Did you copy the army?
Well, ku soldier ol fana ye copy la ban ye kala mudan ye later ki do ki ifana yen na ban.
No, mom sent to the headquarters.
No, I didn't send any to the headquarters.
Only right now, CDS for CDS Usman Bajile.
I wrote to the CDS Usman Baji.
Masana Kinte.
Masana Kinte.
And President CDS for Masafro Kaifana.
And the President CDS also, I wrote to him.
So you made an effort to go back into the army?
Because I wrote to all the heads of the army.
But you don't have copies of those letters?
Masana Kinte Yankuba Drame
Except that for Masana Kinte and Yankuba Drame, I have those letters.
But those letters must be post-Jammeh.
But Jamila Wato Kolalum.
Correct?
Because
correct.
Ako fo Olembang Jamila Wato Kolalum
Ataring Kola.
Okay, for Masana Kinte and this person and person what Jamita Jamita Kola for this Masana Kinte.
Okay, good. Anyway, let's go back to the issue. You came back to Gambia. You were not hiding your presence, according to you. You embarked on the private business. Correct?
Mandogo start follow into the army, army
because at that time I have not yet returned to the army, so I was just sitting down like that without doing anything. So this is why I decided to start my own business.
Okay, so on this day, August, was it August again?
August 28 August.
It was 28 August.
28.
28.
28. Months of August are not good for you.
28 August 2016, arrest.
28 August 2016, I was arrested.
You left almost at around the same time to Bissau 4 years earlier.
August
29th.
It was the same August. Yes. I was going to pick some material from Ziguinchor.
At Jiboro border post.
At the Jibora border post.
Because still na military ID card bembule.
Because I still had my military ID card.
And my civil ID card.
Where are you using it?
Ani. Because na civilian ID card bembule.
No. Because I had my civilian ID card.
Na civilian ID card kataman wala.
I was using my civilian ID card.
But occupation be wala soldier.
But the occupation written on it was soldier.
But you were arrested.
Because coming back intercept at the border.
I was intercepted at the border.
Okay. And they headquarters.
And they told me you should have gone to the headquarters.
And you were taken to headquarters.
No, I was not arrested on that day when I was going. They allowed me to go to Senegal. When I was coming back from Senegal with the things I went to collect there.
If we do not do as we have agreed, we would be here until tomorrow. It is your testimony, of course. But you have to listen to the questions. All right? Agreed?
Okay.
Good. The first instance you were told that they needed you, correct? At the border.
Army headquarters.
Yes, at Army headquarters.
So you went on your mission to Ziguinchor and then you returned.
I told them I was going to collect some material from Ziguinchor and I'll come back tomorrow morning. I came back.
Fine. Just if you listen to the questions, if a lot of what you say wouldn't be necessary, we wouldn't be going in circles. So when you returned, you took yourself personally to them, correct?
Yes, as I was told.
And at that point, what did they do?
And that's where they informed me that I am arrested.
By the military police in barracks.
By the military police at the Yulum barracks.
And did you go with them?
Yes, I didn't resist when I was arrested. I went with them to the Yulum camp.
So tell us what happened at the camp.
When I was taken to the Yulum barracks, that afternoon,
so why in the camp?
while I was at the camp, even before arriving at the camp,
one single nyasi
I found one man, single nyasi at the camp.
And Captain Sane.
And Captain Sane.
What's the name for Captain Sane first?
Captain Sane Tofound.
The Sane military police actually Tofound.
Captain Sane was a member of the military police, but I don't know his name.
Okay.
Captain Sane.
Did you have a conversation with them?
Muni ko arrest one Saturday Bojang and one private jamme.
Yes, the people who said that they've arrested me, one Corporal Jamelomba.
Bojang.
Corporal Bojang.
Sergeant Bojang.
Sergeant Bojang.
And Lance Corporal Jamme.
And Lance Corporal Jamme.
Because Kabin Samba to military police.
When I was taken to the military police.
So Kabin BJ
When I arrived there,
single nyasi this 002 single nyasi, kafa single nyasi.
I found 002 single nyasi there.
And this Captain Sane.
And this Captain Sane.
Kabin Jida Motokono.
When I alighted from the vehicle,
single nyasi konyoko mbebe grotel.
Single nyasi told me that I'll cross your balls.
Akonye Sanyang.
He said to me, Sanyang,
Bila mbebe grotel.
I'll cross your balls today.
I will for you.
That's what he told me.
So Sane benu kono time.
Sane was inside.
So kapinjida motokono because na bakaso nyimbe yabule motokono.
When I alighted from the vehicle, because the materials I went to collect were also with me on board the vehicle. They took me all with those things to the military police.
And then what happened?
So from Sane na rafin office kono.
As the time when Sane came out of the office,
Sane na kanyilinka.
Sane asked me. He asked me, you went to Guinea-Bissau? I said yes.
Konyako telephone taranum arrest another sister.
He said to me that it was myself who went to arrest your younger brother and your sister.
And you were detained for a long time?
And they were detained for a long time.
In your statement,
when they didn't see me.
In your statement, you said for 5 months.
Almost 5 months.
Yes, especially my sister. I said they were detained.
So they detained your sister and brother for 5 months for you because you nicked or you are alleged to have nicked or stolen 4 sheep which were recovered.
Amunta ye bare musoni bare nkyo yelo muta ke sindidla kilim fo kari lulu nyin kamala ko kafo ko ye saji nani yolo sunya imabo taitar.
Aluna taw saji ul jere.
No saji ul jere.
What keta?
That's what happened.
They were detained for a long time or okay?
They were detained there for a long time.
And you, after 4 years, you are apprehended.
And with kari sanji nani kola inarane muta.
So they're threatening to cross your balls.
Silang ibesi maslan kang ibesi lan dengan puru ke.
Silang di koi ke berkilol telale.
Kamu jadi motokono.
When I was alighting from the vehicle, that's what they told me.
After that, what did they do?
So Captain Sane finished the office kono.
Then Captain Sane came out of the office.
By force.
He told me, you will talk by force.
About what?
About the ship.
I will follow you.
That's what he first told me.
Okay.
I said, okay.
Those sheep must be very special.
Okay.
I said to him, okay.
So I woke up for you. So from there, another fendo bondi bala. Then you
After that, they removed some things from me and they put me inside a cell.
So
That's how I was inside the cell.
So the OC Captain Ngom.
One OC Captain Ngom.
What time was he in charge of the military police in Yundumba at that time?
He was in charge of the military police at the Yundumba.
Jan Ngom.
Ngom, yes. He's in Farafenye, Ngamulong Sainte.
I think he now is presently in Farafenye.
Yes.
And the 102 Bah Pay, Kafai Pay was his twice at that time.
102 Bah Pay, alias Pay, was his second in command.
So Kabana was the next day.
He came the next day in the morning.
So he
He said, let them take me out of the cell.
Counter.
When I brought out and I stood at the counter, he told me, you will tell the truth by force.
Who said that?
Captain Ngom.
Captain Ngom.
You mean Jangom?
Jangom.
Yes, Jangom.
Jangom, yeah.
Jangom.
He was head of military police at the time.
Was the head of the time at the military police in Barracks.
And then?
At the military police in Barracks.
Wokola,
after that, they returned me into the cell.
Military police
They told the military police to put chains on me.
Handcuff inside the cell.
Let them put cuffs on me in the cell.
So, but then all man now okay.
But they didn't do that.
I ordered this in Yajama.
He gave that order on many occasions.
But the whole balance because the SO, Yankuba Dabe, the station officer in SO Yankuba Dabo, 002 Yankuba Dabo.
They refused because the station officer SO Yankuba Dabo.
He resisted among some Wasifala.
He resisted because he said he didn't like things like that.
Were you eventually handcuffed?
Yes, if I was sick, they went going to the hospital.
Captain Ngom, this Captain Ngom.
This Captain Ngom,
handcuff
in fact, he insists that even when going to the hospital, let me go along with handcuffs. Even if at the hospital, the medics sometimes were angry for why I was in cuffs.
Was there a time you were taken to one Sergeant Fai's office?
What in another bang? Yes, Sergeant Fai killing Sergeant Fai office or
Sergeant Fai, yes.
Yes,
military police.
Military police.
What happened?
It was one night.
Sergeant Fai
Sergeant Fai was there.
Mr. Witness.
Yes, office.
Mr. Witness. Listen. Yes, Samba Sergeant File office.
You were at yes, Samba Sergeant File office.
Yes, Yen Sambaje. Then you start by saying Sergeant Faibeje. Obviously Sergeant Faibeje.
Yes. Well, how many say you can cover Sergeant Faibeje? Why
stop the repetition. Otherwise, we will be here until tomorrow. So they took you to Sergeant Fai's office?
Yes, Samba Sergeant File office.
Yes.
Yes.
What happened there?
In that office whereby I handcuffed.
When they handcuffed me there,
I handcuffed the
he tightened up the handcuffs on my hand so that I can feel more pain. He did that tightly.
Whereby
and they wanted me to cry by force.
So from there,
Then after that, he went and brought a stick. He went and brought a big stick.
Whereby, he
started beating me with that stick.
Sergeant Fai, what's his first name?
Sergeant Fai, followed.
This Sergeant Fai military police, I don't know actually
Sergeant Fai military police, then I cannot get his first name.
He's 25th intake.
He was among the 25th intake.
Why was he beating you?
Orders sort of from the top.
He said he got orders from the top.
From his boss.
From his boss.
From the top or from his boss?
From his boss.
Santo Banfo ala boss.
He said it was from his boss.
Who was his commander?
And the commander Captain Ngom.
His commander was Captain Ngom.
So how was he beating you?
I live for a long time.
He beat me for a long
I
time.
said how, not for how long.
Tarta ke lipa nyadi le.
Akam busa ni doko babu la lipan wala mulo handcuff.
Were you
beating me
sitting
with
or
a
were
stick.
you lying down?
Be sirin de bang fay be larin.
Melarin.
I was lying down.
On what?
Munkang.
Was table jangole biye.
There was a long table there.
So o table melar wala ka.
I was lying down on that table.
How did you come to lie down on that table?
Ye la ya keno ra nyadi le foye la o tabulu
Te
jaw.
fongole sabak table kan ay nan dia ko.
Himself took me by force and made me lie down on that table.
Paul Mendy was there, military police.
Paul Mendy was there, a military police officer,
But woman fenke.
but he didn't do anything.
Was he assisted?
Ita ya de male bang.
No, Paul Mendy dal uma mako because Paul Mendy kay ko no Paul Mendy kay ko no ya stop.
In fact, Paul Mendy told him to stop.
And Paul Mendy is a couple.
And Paul Mendy is a...
Did you agree to be tortured?
Isontal bang puru ye bude ye lipa bang.
Mansong.
I didn't agree.
Stand up.
Bude lo.
You would agree you are not a small person.
I mean,
For someone to force you on a table and torture you and is not assisted by anybody, it's not easy.
Yeah, because I resisted initially.
But Paul Mendy belorinje.
But Paul Mendy was standing there.
After another finti.
Later on, he left the office
Where to ye?
and left him there.
Because akoban dia way.
Because that man was not happy about what
But
was
how come he succeeded?
Sa keno ra nyadi le fa alafta men o keno ra.
Because I'm no handcuff le.
Because my hands were cuffed.
And the balong nyim balanta because resistance ni manke no correct.
And I resisted, but later on I was unable to resist.
So you submitted.
Ondo ina de fantu.
Yes.
Yes.
So he beat you with this stick.
Ay lipa ni ndoko la.
Lipa ndo
For how long?
Ay wati jelisi ya tarta ke lipa la.
lipa for almost an hour.
And the beating went on for almost 1
How
hour.
many hits? How many cuts?
Busa nyaja da nyaja.
Busa nyaja was siara because ma ta continue la fana.
It was many because I was unable to count it.
And you just lay on the table, you did not roll off the table and got up?
Yelandi tabulo nyinga ando imambiri mindi lab tabulo nyinga yebuli yelo.
Hanga inga wulinga lo ba sida ba lipa la.
Yes, and I got up and stood, but he went on beating me.
Okay. Did you sustain any injuries?
Nara na barmol sotole bang.
Hanga because nga back pain sotole problem sotole hanin sa ko ni.
Yes, because up to now I have a back pain.
Osto di mo ni hanin sa kanala.
And still that pain goes and comes.
And when did he stop? When did he stop?
The beatings?
Yes.
Budero ni nara na lo.
It went on for almost an hour plus.
Okay.
Utama bulbana stop.
That was the time when the beating stopped.
From there Adam
Why did he stop?
Mune asa uvana na liparo ni bula.
Because Paul na murji akaya ko ika munke it's not law, it's not in the law.
Because Paul came back and told him that what you are doing is unlawful.
That's where another liparoni stopped.
That's the time when he stopped the beating.
And then what happened after that?
Mune na ke okela.
I murundi to the cell.
He took me back to the cell.
Did you make it known to the army authorities that you were tortured by this fight?
Fo inara na sojarol la nyaton kol kala mudanda nyinela ko ye libala no me liba wala nyim fay kontongodi.
Because not to CDS, Masana Kinte found, and even the present CDS found. Not betande.
The question is not recently. The question is at that time, did you report the matter?
When you manke signed up, getting a signed a letter on Mazabe. For watola, Yaku Bole Bankai, Tandi Soja Nyaton Kolanu, Nyimfai Kontonga Lipale.
At that time, because at that time, Bahora Jete, Mumbi, Akakoni Kale.
At that time, the man who was responsible, Bahore Jaite,
the legal officer at the headquarters found.
the legal officer at the headquarters,
He's part of the military police.
he was part of the military police.
Because
The matter reached him, but he didn't take any action.
at the NIA found, because NIA investigate.
We will come to that.
Binaura.
Okay. So For how long did you stay in the barracks, in the military camp?
Itara sojaro lo kampo kono je fo wati jelu.
Upon 28 August for on the 18th October.
From 28th of August till the 18th of October.
For what time on the 18th October le ko say dismissed le.
On the 18th of October, that's the time when they said I was dismissed.
Because final for force akonyo ko ebitale for this dismissal say ebitale dismissal la say.
So if I came there initially and told me that you will be dismissed.
So were you told what you were dismissed for?
Yeah, for na dalila jumal kang ibe dismiss ibe bayla men kang.
Was it for nicking the four ship, or was it for desertion, or was it for both?
Oye be bayla men wala nyindi ko sa jol ni yema ndi bang fo be bayla men kama wala nyindi ko disason wala yela do ko fili jang itata itata mani.
Before
dismissal Sol Baji na renu jeles General Sol Baji.
Before that, General Sol Baji came there.
Emeba sila kuyabi.
And Emeba
sila kuyabi Navy.
Navy sila
ina renu jele fa yen question.
They came there and questioned me.
Yen question muna wala ndiko ya mo ko be Senegal.
Well, when they asked me was that they asked me that I was in Senegal.
And ningambe ex-soldier megambe in Senegal ni wala ka knife.
And the ex-soldiers who were in Senegal, I was conniving with them.
Come and attack this country.
Come and attack this country.
So your allegations and reasons for apprehended shifted from the issue of the ship now to you being a dissident and planning to overthrow the government.
Amunda sai ila tumiro nyi dalilo me atne muta abota ko saji sunyani nga ko nyi bota woto le silanga narana sawu ko ite mo molde me alongo gambe de ngol data sawu mane ibe fero tabi kanje pour kana boy gambe banko ka. Ha.
Yes.
So what did you say to them?
Yemuna foye
Kabul Sol Baji nyi nganyun ko molla kay ko akonyi juma ko diam gambe jang.
When Solbaji asked me, and he went on to ask me, who were you communicating with in the Gambia here?
And you communicate outside the country.
And who do you communicate with outside the country?
I only communicate with my family. I have no business with anybody outside.
I told him I only communicate with my family. I have no other business with anybody outside.
Which Solbaji are you referring to?
Solbaji Jumalela.
This is General Suleiman Baji, Sol Baji, State House.
General Suleiman Baji at State House.
And then what happened after that?
Munena ke okola
konye ko niara mun ka fa biang attack la niara ma hani ka fa ndo mera ko mbeke be astemboto ndo man sia sa woto because ndo ko ro sign.
He told me, if you people are planning to attack this country, we are not afraid to die because we are now elders.
And then?
So nta mun fa nta dia mo ngam fa ako eme ba ko take note what ngam explain.
He told me about to take note what I've explained.
So kabo jele another say.
After that, they went back.
Were you released?
From there, another dismissal.
After that, I was dismissed.
So on the 18th October.
On the 18th of October.
So another 2 days spent there.
I spent another 2 days there.
On the 20th, NIA to military police there.
On the 20th, the NIA came to the military police.
Captain Gom hand over to the NIA.
Captain Gom handed me over to the NIA.
Escorted by Staff Sergeant Yaya Jata.
And I was escorted by Staff Sergeant Yaya Jata.
Lance Corporal Jaju.
Lance Corporal Jaju.
NIA.
Go to the NIA.
So NIA for almost 4 months.
I was at the NIA for almost 4 months.
But NIA
But at the NIA, I didn't have any hard encounters there.
Because NIA investigate.
Because the NIA investigated my matter, my affairs.
Embassy.
Up to the Guinea-Bissau embassy.
Say Umar Jen, Operation Commander.
Sheikh Omar Jeng, operations commander. That's what he told me.
Was clear because embassy sent a letter to our NIA here.
He told me you have been cleared to come home because the embassy even sent a letter to our office here.
Were you tortured at the NIA?
NIA,
no, NIA, NIA.
Nobody ever tortured me at the NIA. Not even a single person even insulted me there.
You are one of the lucky people.
And in 4 months,
but I spent 4 months there.
Ha.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because whatever I needed there, it was Sheikh Omar Jeng himself who helped me to get it.
You agreed that you are one of the lucky persons at the NIA. Why do you agree that you are one of the lucky people?
sonda nyina isu sonda nyina ko itela be mol kono me alan ko mon harje mol kono mene o harje soro enay muna ne ko sonda itela idabe o mol kono mene e o harje soro ebje
muna sonda because enay sembu me bulu na mantra ami famulu.
Why I agree, why I said that, because at that time, the power that the NIA had was not even invested in the army.
Because NIA have a most of soldier for arrest.
Because the NIA had powers to arrest even soldiers.
It's a most of police arrest.
They had powers to arrest the police.
Police officer ya arrest nyalaje ya someone anje and uniform.
A police officer was arrested and brought there in my presence, and he was in uniform.
How about the treatment of the people who were arrested?
molla dum menu kam men muray ke naare ila maranya o ka nyaadi le
ena e mun jere ko ke fambe ka bo yefana andu ka mol timbalaje le ka mol soronje fam horrible le fam.
What happens there? They do anything that they want with you. They lock up people there and they maltreat people, but nothing comes out of it.
Because during president campaign kick off,
when the presidential campaign started, that all found me at the NIA.
Were you detained together?
Two soldiers.
Who were you detained together with?
Yeni jumalel muranyo kanje sindi nyokanje.
Nata kabin samaje follow yeke selo ba selo ni lampo ba selo yunkono.
The cell I was placed in when I was taken there was a bulb, there was a light in the cell.
Na some weeks spend after Rambula yenge sal bakono with Mama Sabali Bakar Fati.
After some weeks, they took me out of that cell and I was placed inside a hall with Bakari Fati and Mamadou Sabali.
And other civilian.
Plus other civilians.
You were talking about two soldiers?
Okay, during the presidential campaign, you started what 2016?
2016, when the presidential campaign started.
Soldier Fula Jahate and Jao.
Two soldiers, Jahate and Jao.
Because Kamporo, this time around, campaign Vinola.
Because in the camp, they were saying that this time around, how things are going, Yaya Jammeh cannot win.
And one colleague, report.
And one colleague had that, and he went and reported these two people.
I will report these people this time around.
And when he reported this matter, saying that these two people are not loyal because they are saying that Yaya Jammeh will not win this time.
You know, arrest from Yundum NIA.
They were arrested at the Yundum barracks and were brought to the NIA. With their uniforms, and they were all parked at Bambadinka.
For a long time, for after the election.
They were there for a long time, till after the election.
As a winner, that's the very day a piece of mind.
When Barrow was declared as the winner, that was the day they had a peace of mind.
And what till 1 o'clock found, and
that day, around 1 o'clock, the NIA started abandoning the camp.
Security guards will be
The security guards all abandoned their positions. It looked like a bomb had dropped at the NIA. That was the day I believed in the power of the ballot box. From the NIA boss to the last person, all of them were running to their homes.
Say Umar Jels, 2 weeks among Kenya.
Say Umar Jels fell sick for 2 weeks. He didn't come to work.
Everywhere was clear. There was no security for Puntul phone.
The NIA, every place was cleared. In fact, there was no security for us who were inmates.
From the State House.
And then some soldiers were brought from the State House. Those were the people who were responsible for the NIA campus up to the end of the political impasse.
Did you see any fires or smoke at the NIA during that period?
Because Oboroni has more about the Fuluka.
And I didn't see fire, any fire.
Smoke?
Sisho man Sisho Fananje.
I didn't see any smoke too.
Burning of documents?
Not a fin de banta fan.
Kaiti Jano do no moje, mine Kaitun Fanalijani, Dulatoji.
No, more than a Bosol in the motor, Mojama, the surprisers,
Well, some people came there with vehicles who were celebrating.
And they have to do NIA by force.
And they wanted to go into the NIA premises by force.
Kafoleko se Umajen and the NIA director Suleiman Yankuba Baji, Alad Nangafa.
They were saying Sehomar Jeng and Yankuba Baji, the heads of the NIA, we will kill them. And there were many. Many vehicles. They tried to go into the premises by force. Because at that time, all securities at the NIA ran away. Not even a single one of them was. It took me almost 1 week. I didn't see even one NIA security officer there. This is why the soldiers came to take over the place that night.
When were you released, or when did you leave the premises?
Around 14 January.
I left there around 14th of January.
During the period of your 4 to 5 months detention at the NIA, were you taken before a court?
No, NIA ko nga fo nyamete NIA nga karo so yekata mo because NIA fo hani boro e ka sanye.
Yes, I had some peace of mind there. Even medicine, they used to buy it for me.
Mr. Witness, you were in detention, correct?
Yes.
Were you free to go home and take care of your own business?
No.
Were you allowed the services of a lawyer?
No.
Were you taken before a judge?
No.
Do you know that the laws of this country does not permit that?
Yes.
Do you feel that your rights were violated by the NIA?
Yes.
While at the NIA, do you notice or heard or see anything to suggest that a person was tortured or being tortured?
No,
No, what I saw was they were threatening some people. But I didn't see people being beaten. Well, they arrest people, bring them there, and they are released. People who were opponents of Yaya Jammeh were arrested and brought there, but they are released. And that was many times. Yes, many times.
Thank you very much. No further questions?
Thank you very much, my counsel, and thank you, Mr. Sanyang, for coming to testify before the commission.
Yaman ko inumbarabake council inumbarabake Mr. Sanyang memuite sero di ila sedi andirodo.
One quick question: during the chaotic period when Barrow was declared the winner of the elections, did any detainees attempt to escape?
Odet woni wato nyi kono wato menna nun carte fa botala fo ya dikia kankula ko baro gagnetal fo mo be Maroko no je fo mo soro ndajele ba men
ya kata pour kabori
ka kata pour ka kana kabori
mo be detail at that time mo man kanaje.
No, nobody escaped at the time.
Because
we all came out and sat at the main gate. Because there was no security to take care of the place. All of them ran away and went to their homes.
As far as
they didn't release us officially, we also decided to stay there and see how things pan out, and we believe that they will come and release us.
So then
later on, this is how we were released. But I left Bakari Fati and others there.
There is some quintessential Gambian obedience for nothing. In other places, they would have detainees would all run away. If the officers are detaining you around, they go. You want to go.
Ako mo Gambian kolla songodango duwaleti katu nindila dolle moti manu bete kanta kan niolu borta sila yete membula je pour yete le muta ite bitum fana nindila dolle won fana be bitale.
ha bawo jato bule jato city wo bulo ni taka jato fring.
Yes, well, the hand that tied the lion, it should be the same hand that will untie the lion.
Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate.
Commissioner ninga tra momo nyini karo zoro isa itandi sedo la.
Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Bishop Odiko le kan nyini ka sedo.
Bishop Odiko wale lafte nyini kala.
Thank you, Chairman.
Ako inumbara chairman.
Mr. EBOU SANYANG.
Ko Mr. EBOU SANYANG.
Is it true that you were in possession of the 4 ships?
Fo ni muto nyalti ko ni saji nanol mem filita e tarte wetele bulo kono bang.
Oh, man trante bulo kono.
No, they were not with me.
Ko mo sudani man trante bulo.
Just to shorten the matter, I didn't have them.
Thank you. If you have any closing remarks to make, Mr. Sanyang, please proceed.
Silang commissioner moment soro mbe nyini kala koreke kiamane silo di ninga tare defana ye kuma soro e bela fleke la kuma da soro menna isi tenten.
Mal tentlo mal jayla.
I want to thank and hail all of you.
Be lead council tentlo mal jayla do kendo la.
My thanks to the lead counsel for his good job.
Investigators.
The investigators.
Doko bialanko sacrifice doko la.
This work looks like it's a part of sacrificing.
Doko bialanko ala don na si joro keno ye.
A job that you know it's only Allah who can reward you people.
Be commission sol tentu lambe jayla.
My thanks to the commissioners.
TRRC doko mumebe nyonyol be mbe ton lambe jayla.
All staff of the TRRC, I would like to say a big thanks to all of you.
Ala doko be ata bakke.
You are doing a very good job.
Because nilen commission to me yalanko.
Because this is the commission which you know.
Mo jikita ko.
People have the hope that they will bring and establish justice.
And the more me yalanko e more rights violated in banko inkono.
People who violated people's rights in this country.
Put justice prevail yesamana bukoto.
So that they will be brought to justice.
My appeal to the
TRRC is that all the abuses and all the bad things that happened, let them sort it out and make things straight and let justice prevail. Because if the destruction that took place, if it is not mended, it will born another thing, will result into another thing. Because that's why how I saw things, there's only one thing which can develop the Gambia. Even in Europe, there was one thing which help them to develop. That's the law. People should follow and abide by the law. Nobody should take the law into your hands. It is only the law which can develop this country. And it is only that law which can take us ahead and develop the country. If there is no law, whatever you want, that's what you will do. Whether it's good or bad, that's what you will do. Because you will know that nothing will come out of it. Because when I was in the army, what I always talk about is anybody who does wrong to me or bad to me, I will revenge. Because I said that many times in the army. If you do something bad for me, you have to come and apologize to me, then I will forget. If not, I will revenge. Because this law doesn't belong to one person. And the law is for everybody, so this is why it is everybody's business to respect that law. The job you are doing for Gambia and in the whole world is highly recommended. You will go to the BBC, the good job you are doing, you will hear and many other media outlets, they are talking about the good job that you people are doing. So I'm appealing to you to see that the law prevails And let the law not leave anybody behind.
Mu yeti nyaro kajang.
Those who abused people here.
Angalel ko rule for one, rule for all.
Because the English said rule for one, rule for all.
Tinyaro yeminche?
The abuses they committed.
Ite nyanta ko o tinyaro nyinjo alwato.
And that abuse should be corrected by the law.
Modron so okay no.
That's the only thing that can.
Ni mobile luano Gambia jam mutobe bida halal.
If everybody knows the law and follow it in the Gambia,
by force
people will be free and enjoy because nobody will use force on you. And this is how all our siblings will have peace in this country. My problem, it caused me a lot of things.
And
it spoiled a lot of things also in my absence. Things that I should have developed for me, it wasted my time. It's nothing but because of the fear I had. And because it was because of the dictatorship in this country, they don't follow the law. If they had followed the law, and the law was seriously and established in this country, I wouldn't have left the country. I wouldn't have gone out to go to the embassy somewhere to try and come back to my own country. To negotiate for that.
So,
but wherever the law prevails, you are
Gambia Armed Forces, Gambia Armed Forces
what I'm telling the Gambia Armed Forces,
rule for one is rule for all.
Rule for one is rule for all.
Selective justice no stop banko.
Let them stop selective justice. Let's try and go by the law and let establish the let's not look for friendship or that so and so is my relative. Those who are qualified for the positions, those who are competent for positions, allow them.
They take charge and protect our integrity at all costs.
Let them take charge and protect the integrity of the country at all costs.
There are certain capable soldiers because world are capable to defend this country.
There are certain capable people who were soldiers and they are still here and they can go back to the army and protect this country. There are people in the army who are not even capable, but still they are in the army.
And
they have high ranks in the army. They cannot command anybody. They cannot function. That's quite clear.
Those are army with false certificates, senior officers.
Some came with false certificates, senior officers within the army.
In the army with false certificates.
Still they are there and they still hold those false certificates.
You know, with no qualification.
With no qualification.
No training, no further training.
No training and no further training. And they are holding high ranks.
Because you are working with a dictator,
because they were working for a dictator whom they were pleasing and were awarded. But when I came back here, what happened? That's what I wrote to the head of the army.
And those who violated my right at the military police,
those who violated my rights at the military police, I wrote their names, but still they are holding those positions.
That is selective justice.
Let's stop selective justice. The truth is not going on still.
TRRC called truth and never again.
The TRRC stood for the truth and they said never again.
So, and
we hope that that will happen. My thanks to you and I hail all of you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, just before you end,
Mr. Sanyang, yes, Council, submitting.
I have my exhibit 178 where the Army Chief of Defense Staff said the Army High Command is investigating the case of the nicking of the 4 ships, which they have vehemently condemned and described as despicable and unprofessional. Exhibit 178, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Council. Your request is granted. Thank you all. Sorry?
It should be 179. Yesterday.
Oh, is it 179? Yes, I think so. 179. Thank you, Auntie Adelaide. Thank you.
It's a very alert commission.
Thank you. Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Absul, and thank you, Mr. Sanyang, again for coming to testify.
Inumbara council, inumbara baka Mr. Sanyang isonta kana sede arola.
We'll end our proceedings here and see you all Monday morning at 10 o'clock. And I hope you have a restful weekend. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you all.